This video today is going to explain the process of how to make approvals as an approver within your district. We're going to start off today by a teacher placing an order, and that teacher's already logged into the marketplace here, and they're searching for items, and so they're going to go ahead and add items to their cart. And once they finish shopping, they're going to check out of their cart. And as long as their shipping address is correct, billing address is correct, they can put a PO number on here at this point, or they can leave it blank and it'll generate one automatically, or the approver or one of the approvers can assign this along the way. So at this point, the teacher's done shopping. We're going to go ahead and place this order. And as soon as we place the order, the teacher then sees the approval chain that is set up. They're going to see that it's going to go to a Nebraska principal, which could be a principal in your building. And typically it's going to show the user's name here rather than a generic name like Nebraska principal. And then it moves on to the business manager. So at this time, the yellow light is on for the Nebraska principal, meaning that it's waiting for that principal to approve it. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out as a teacher. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make one more purchase. And so let's do pencils here. And so we can kind of see what an approved requisition and a denied one would look like. So at this point, let's say I'm going to order these pencils. I'm going to add those to my cart. And I'm going to go ahead and check out and place my order because everything's saved for me. I can do that. And so I've just placed two orders. So I'll have two requisitions that the principal needs to approve now. And so I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And then I'm going to sign back in as that principal. When the principal or when a staff member submits a requisition, the first approver within the chain is going to receive an email. And that email is going to come from Equal Level, and it's going to look something like this. It's going to give description of who submitted the requisition. It says it's what status it's in, it's pending approval. And then down below, you're going to see each vendor listed and the items ordered from each vendor. The simplest form of making an approval is through the email. And so at this point, a requisition or a principal could click on the approve button here or the deny button without even having to log in to the marketplace. There can't be any edits to the requisition. So if you want to change quantities within a requisition, you're going to have to log into the system. But if the requisition is okay as submitted, then you can approve it. Or if you want to deny the whole requisition, then you can deny it. But if you only want to deny one item on the requisition, you will have to log into the marketplace. So if we go back to the marketplace as the principal, they're going to see these requisitions coming in under my orders, and you will see those that need to be approved listed here. So I've got an 11,470, 11,469, 11,44, 447. So three of them that need to be approved or denied. So I can simply click approve here or deny here, but it's a little hard to see what's in the requisition by doing that. So I'm going to click on the pencil to actually edit the requisition. At this point, I get all the information. I can look at the details and see when that requisition was submitted. It shows that it's waiting for my approval. The shipping address, billing address are already set. Those cannot be changed at this point. But the PO number can. So if I wanted to, the teacher had already entered a PO number of 1491, and maybe that's incorrect, I can change that to 1499 maybe. Maybe we've had some updates since we gave them that, or for some reason. Likewise, I can remove items that I don't want in their requisition, so I can remove the selected item by clicking the box on the left-hand side and then selecting Remove Selected. At that point, it's going to ask, why are we removing that item? Because the teacher's going to get a response back to them and let them know why this was removed. So we say maybe the land manager has a box of these in the computer lab. And so I can submit that back, and the teacher's going to get that response back that was removed also. And so I can also come in here and say update the quantities from 1, and I think, oh, maybe we have a need for 10 of these because the land manager needs some too. So I'm going to update these. And again, we can give a reasoning for this. Added 9 more for the computer lab. And that teacher's going to see that also. At this point, I've made all the edits on the requisition that I want. I can say approve requisition. And I don't have to put a comment in there unless I want to. And I've already put in my comments about the edits, so I'm not going to actually submit or put any comments in here at the time. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. At this point, you see the light of the principal has turned green, and now it has moved on to the business manager. And so this is where we talk about approval chains, where it goes from a teacher to a principal, then the business manager. At this point, once I hit submit, it generates an email to the business manager. They're going to receive a similar email like the last one that the principal received, but not until the principal approves it first. And so at this point, if I sign out and sign in as the business manager, and again, come to my orders, I can see I have this requisition pending approval. And I only have 1 of those, whereas the principal had 3 of them. The principal has not approved those other requisitions yet. And so at this point, the business manager is not even going to see those. So if you want to click on the edit, we can verify information is correct. And at this time, the business manager says, no, I want to change that to $14.98. And save requisition, because I don't think we did on the principals. When we did that and made that change, it didn't save it. So now you see, by saving the requisition, it saves that purchase order number update now. At this point, again, I can make edits or anything I want to, but if there's nothing that needs to be done, this business manager can approve it and submit it. Had the business manager been the last approver in this chain, which usually they would be, we've got a test approver in here, this order would have gone out and been delivered to the vendor and be complete. But we see that we have a test approver in the approval chain here, and they would need to approve this. But for sake of time, we just will assume that this was the last one, and it has been sent to the vendor at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out. And so that's the end of the process of approving a requisition, following it from a teacher to the principal to the business manager. Now, I am going to go back in, and I'm going to log back in as that principal, because there were a couple other requisitions that needed to be reviewed. And so if I go back to my orders, I can see that I've got multiple items here that need to be approved or denied. And so we're going to look at denying one of these and what that actually looks like. And at this point, principal looks at this and says, oh, we've got a case of this graph paper down in the closet. We don't need it. I'm going to go ahead and deny it. Again, it asks for a comment. Give a reason. This reason is going to be viewable by the teachers, so be polite. And so we have cases of this in the office storage room, maybe. See Mr. Peterson about this. And then that teacher is going to get that response back in an email, and they're going to see why it was denied, and they can actually log back in and view this requisition. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. At this point, it gives a reason of why that was denied, and you notice the red light, meaning that it was denied. So at this point, this requisition is complete. Because it's not going to go any further than this. But if I sign out and as a teacher, I come back in and look at that requisition, well, let's try that again. There we go. And I come back into my orders again. And I can see that that item was denied now, and I can go in and review and edit that again. And so then I see, as a teacher, we have cases of this in the office storage room. See Mr. Peterson about this. And so I can see why that was denied and that we have it in the school system already and it's not needed to be ordered. So at this point, this ends the video for how to approve your requisitions within your districts.